Albany, Gov. Andrew Cuomo isn't a defendant, and he doesn't expect to be a witness when the first public corruption trial involving a former member of his administration and some of his biggest contributors begins next month. But from the opening moments, potential jurors are likely to hear Cuomo's name in a trial that could have political implications for the governor and his 2018 re-election plans. Do you have strong positive or negative views about Governor Cuomo or his administration? Acting U.S. Attorney June H. Kim recently wrote as one of his proposed list of questions for potential jurors. Based on anything you have read, seen, or heard about this case or about any allegations of bribery or corruption related to the governor's office, have you formed any opinion about any of the defendants that might make it difficult for you to be a fair and impartial juror in the case? Defense lawyers proposed as a question for jurors. After hundreds of motions and other legal maneuverings over the past 14 months, lawyers for both sides have now begun the nitty-gritty work that paves the way for the trial to begin January 8 of Joseph Percoco, a longtime close associate of Cuomo, and 3 businessmen charged in a bribery, fraud, and extortion corruption scheme. Until recently, prosecutor and lawyers for the Buffalo Billion defendants have been waging a voluminous legal paperwork battle before a federal judge over evidence, legal soundness of the charges and timing and location for the trials. Now, as U.S. District Court Judge Valerie E. Caproni made clear last week, it's game time. In a court filing last Monday, lawyers for the 4 defendants submitted a proposed questionnaire for prospective jurors. In its succinct description of the criminal case, the lawyers said the charges against their clients involve public corruption offenses involving the New York State Governor's office. The January trial involves an alleged bribery scheme that personally benefited Percoco, a close friend of Cuomo's and a once senior member of his administration. 3 executives with a downstate energy company and a Syracuse development firm, called COR Development, are also defendants in the case. A who's who of political, government and business insiders are expected to be called to testify in the case. It is uncertain yet whether Cuomo will testify. The Percoco case came out of an investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Manhattan into the awarding of contracts in the Buffalo Billion Economic Development Program. A second trial is set for early next summer. That one will feature the awarding of a deal to Buffalo's LP Simonelli for the Buffalo Billion solar plant project at Riverbend. Its defendants include 3 former top LP Simonelli executives and former SUNY Polytechnic head Elaine Caballeros. Certain to be an issue in both trials will be questions about donations made by defendants to the governor's campaign. That was made all the more clear by Monday's juror questionnaire submission by the defense lawyers. Do you have any feelings about individuals and companies that make relatively large campaign donations to political candidates? States question number 10 in the submission.